So we'll go ahead and start, and we're going to take a little yoga science experiment, yay, just to see what happens when our eyes are doing certain things. So just sit in a comfortable way and make your eyes really big, like kind of a surprised look, so like really big eyes, and keep the big eyes and turn your head to the right. Just notice how far you go, how it feels in the neck. Back to center. And now let the eyes close. And don't just close them, like don't scrunch them closed, but can you keep the muscles around the eyes relaxed? We'll go to the right side again and go nice and slow and just keep going until you naturally stop. And then when you do stop, just open the eyes gently and notice if it feels different, if you've gone any further. Stay over here and just a teensy bit extra, let the eyes continue to go to the right. And you might have a little extra room to go. And then come back to center. Yeah, it's different, isn't it? Let's do the other way. So, bug eyes, and then turn to the left. I've been practicing this a fair amount lately, and it just, for me, feels terrible with the bug eyes. And then come back to the center. And now relax the eyes, close the eyes. Go again to the left, just keep going until you stop. And then once you stop, let the eyes open in a relaxed way. And go a little extra, turning the eyes to the left, and that might give you a teensy bit of extra room. And then come back to center. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? One more little eye thing. So just take your hands, kind of the fingertips at the back of your head, kind of a little above the hairline. And then you can have your eyes open or closed. I'm going to close mine just because it looks weird. And move your eyeballs around, just any which way, up, down, side to side, around. And do you feel little things happening under your fingers? Super weird. And then relax, let the hands relax. Yeah. You didn't feel anything, and that's okay. Some of the muscles that move the eyes are back here, and you may or may not feel it. And also there's a bunch of cranial nerves back there, and that they are all related. So we're gonna take another check-in. Yeah, and if you don't, it's okay. So we already checked our side to side. Let's just check in our range of motion with a tilt. So tilt right ear to right shoulder. And left ear to left shoulder. Back to center. And then tilt the chin towards the chest without everything collapsing down. Just a little nod in the head. And then we'll go the other direction, and when you lift up, be sure to keep the back of the neck long, so you don't want to pinch the back of the neck. Yeah, and then head back to center. So we're going to recheck those same directional movements later. Let's, for now, I'm gonna come up close just so I'm closer to you, but to sit, I'll suggest sitting like this with your right knee up, the elbow on the knee, and then the hand like this so you can rest the head on the hand. And then I'm going to come up closer though so you can see me. So for this first bit, you'll put the heel of the hand just behind your ear on the right side. And we want the head to feel supported, not that you have to hold it up. So just relax. And then you'll use your hand to make a little circle. And what we want to do here is use the hand to kind of pin the skin. So we're essentially moving the skin around. Little circles there. And then we'll remove the head from the hand and go to a different spot. This time you'll take the edge of the thumb right below the cheekbone. You'll rest the head there. So yeah, it's right there. And then you'll make the circles again right in that spot. And who knew this jaw could get so tight? Now you won't be able to see this. Let's hold the hand still and just slowly open and close your mouth. If you were to make sound, which you could say ah, ah, just in a gentle way with a little pressure on the muscle. Yeah, okay. And then last spot, straight out from the eye is the temple. You'll have the heel of the hand on the temple there. And then same thing, you'll just make some little circles, keeping the head relaxed, the neck relaxed. And the heel of the hand is just pinning the skin and pulling the skin around little circles. Yeah, so we're gonna do these 3 spots again with a slightly different way to move. Pause here, and instead of moving the hand around, we're gonna move the head. And you could do up and down, you could do head circles, you could go like you're saying no, anything there. An inexpensive facelift, you'll see when we're done. And then let's go to the next spot, the jaw. And same thing, you'll hold the hand in place and move the head around. And that could be anything. You could keep doing that, or if you want to hold still and do the ah sound again, or you could even do the ah while moving if you wanted to. Great, and then we'll go again just behind the ear, that little bony spot. The hand is held still and it's the head that's moving, any which way. Yeah, yogis. All right. And then let's let go, release the hand and just sit for a second, close your eyes with relaxed eyes. And see if, just from what we did, if the right side feels different than the left. You might notice the face itself, the neck, the shoulder, the arm. Yeah. And all of this is really subtle, so if you don't feel any different, that's okay too. Let's try it out on the second side. So you'll prop up and you'll start with the hand right behind the ear. And this side for me is different. Yeah, you can, it doesn't exactly matter how you're propped. And then let's move the hand first. So circling, getting the skin in place so that the skin is kind of being pulled. Great, and then let's move into the jaw just underneath the cheekbone. And that'll be kind of the edge of the hand there. And same thing again, this is awkward with the mask, but okay. And then let's pause and do our ah, open and close the mouth with or without sound. I've always, since I remember, have had a clicky jaw on one side, but when I do this sort of thing, it doesn't click, so kind of interesting. And then let's move into the temple, so straight out from the eye. It's the heel of the hand making the circles. Great, and then pause. Keep the hand in place and now move the head. And that could be circles, side to side, up and down, anything. The quality is a little different, whether we're moving the hand or the head, it's a little different. Right, friends, and then we'll move again into the jaw. Hold the hand in place and just move the head around any which way. Perhaps adding the open and close of the mouth. Yeah, and then our last spot just behind the ear. heel of the hand there, and removing the head. All right, friends, and then let's release. Just come back to center, take another check-in, just close your eyes, breathe. Notice what you noticed. And then just gently open the eyes. And this next little bit here, I'm gonna face kind of diagonal. You'll have your hands like this, and then one hand at a time, you'll just kind of mush the skin of the front of the neck and go all the way back just behind the ears. And depending on your hairdo, you might bring the fingers a little bit through the hair. And you go one side at a time so the head turns. Yeah, so one side and the other side. And use the whole hand. So it's not just the fingers, it's the whole hand. This one looks very weird. I think it feels very nice. And we won't do it, but we could just do the whole class of this, I think. Yeah. All right, friends. And then from here, let's release the arms. And just we're gonna take the range of motion check-in again. So let's just turn your head to the right, eyes open or closed, but relaxed eyes. From that, I've gone further. And then go to the left. And if it's any different, well, how's that? Back to center, and then we'll tilt right ear to right shoulder. Oh, it's like a yoga miracle. And then up, left side. Back to center, bring the chin down. Oh, even this one I get more. Sorry for the running commentary. And then we will be doing more and more, so if you didn't get anything yet, it's coming. And then back to center. All right, yogis. Yeah, so far so good. So the next little bit of class will be laying on your back. Those of you who have a strap, will use it not yet. Mine is in a loop. If yours is in a loop, undo the loop and just have it maybe folded in half on the side, and that'll be for later. The block will be for now. And some of you don't have a block, and your book could work depending on the book itself. Let me show how this will go. So some of you will have the block flat, and then if you're using a book, you can try it flat, and then you'll have the front edge of the block. That'll go right about at the base of the skull where the head and the neck come together, and you'll be here. Option for the block people. If you want to try something a little different, you can set up the block so it's a little bit on the diagonal, so you have this flat part at the base of the head. Yeah? Those of you who are using a book, we want to have the edge of the book not with the pages, but the spine. That's the part that's at that little divot. And if this isn't working out with the book, you could just use your hands, holding the hands behind the head. So for everybody, let's just start to move your head from side to side like you're saying no. If you have the block on an angle like I do, it might be necessary to keep your hands there just so it doesn't fall. And if you feel an interesting spot along the way that you'd like to explore, pause there and maybe try a little nod or a little circle. Whatever you're doing, it's gentle. Found a spot on one side, maybe go find another spot on the second side. Same thing, maybe a little nod or a little circle. All right, and then let's let the head come back to center. And now instead of rotating the head, we will try to have your device kind of pin the skin of your head and slide the head to the right. It's not going to go far, like a millimeter or two. and then slide the head to the left. Do that a few times. And try not to create tension, because we try to go further and we end up overdoing. Okay, and then pause, just relax. So go ahead, let's remove your prop. If you would like to have a blanket under your head at this point, you can set that up. If you're comfortable with the head just as is on the floor, stay like that. And now this next one will be a movement for the eyes. So let the eyes close in a relaxed way. And don't do this hard. We don't want to use the eye muscles in a really strong grippy way. It's gentle. Let the eyeballs turn to your right and just hold them there. We'll stay for a little bit. So the eyeballs are turned to the right. The head is just in the center. And something about when we are in this position and the eyes are held in one spot. For some of us, it, I don't want to say triggers, but it maybe stimulates the vagus nerve. And as a result, some of you might feel more saliva in the mouth. You might feel the urge to swallow. There might be a change in the breath. Stay for a few more moments on the right side. And it is very subtle. And sometimes just anticipating that that might happen makes it not happen. So try not to be too attached. Let's bring the eyes back to center. And then let the eyeballs go to the left, same thing. Just like you're looking over to the left, but don't go too hard to the left. Okay. Maybe some of us get a little more saliva, or it feels like you want to swallow. Maybe there's a change in the breath. Let the eyeballs return to center and keep the muscles around the eyes relaxed. And let's actually have the eyes closed and pretend there's a crayon on the end of your nose, and we're going to draw a circle on the ceiling. And let's keep the circle pretty small for the moment, maybe the size of a quarter. And see if you can make it the roundest circle that you've ever drawn. Notice if there's any little spots that are getting skipped over. Any flat spots in the circle or any corners. See if you can make it really, really round. And then go the other direction. Right, friends, so let's let the movement start to settle down. And this next one will be a check, and we'll do a recheck later. So just lift the head, the neck, the shoulders off the floor. It looks kind of like a sit-up. And this is just to feel how heavy does the head feel, how high do you go up, how much effort is it to do this. And then come back down, and we'll remember how that felt. We'll do it again later. Let's take the arms out, straight out from the shoulders, bend the elbows so it's a cactus arm position. Depending on how tight your shoulders are, I'm demonstrating here, I'm pretending my shoulders are tight and the hands are quite a bit off the floor. For some of you who are a little more flexibility, the hands might touch. Wherever you are, doesn't matter. So let's inhale in this position. On the exhale, rotate through the upper arms. The hands will come up and then down, so palms towards the floor. And here too, you may or may not touch. Inhale, they'll rotate up and go back. Exhale, they'll rotate up and go forward. Take that a few times. Now try to sense your shoulder blades on the back. And notice what they're doing, how they're moving. If one side is moving differently than the other. And then we're going to change our pattern a little bit. So the next time the arms come into the up position, pause there. Let your head turn to the right and bring the left arm into the down position. So the right arm is up, the left arm is down. Let's inhale. And on the exhale, come through center with the head and the arms and then swap. So at the end of the exhale, you're on the other side. Inhale, we're up. And exhale, we change. Say up. One side is up, one side is down. Keep going with this. Don't force any range of motion, but you might notice after you do a few more repetitions that the range of motion naturally increases. We're going to pause again, just pick a spot. And then whatever arm is down, bring it up so you're in the up arm position. So now we'll inhale. On the exhale, turn the arms down and let the head lift up off the floor. It might feel awkward. Inhale to come back down, lifting the arms. Do this a few times, and as long as it's not straining, it's okay that the front of the neck gets a little bit fatigued here. If it feels like it's too much, or if it's straining in the neck, just keep the head down the whole time. And this will be our last one here. Great. From here, once you've landed, reset the arms, just let them come alongside you. And I'm going to have you place one hand just lightly on the front of the neck so that you can feel the muscles. It's called the sternocleidomastoid. There's one on each side. And just lift the head off the floor, and do you feel the muscles that kind of tense up when you do that in the front and kind of on the sides? Come back down. So just so you feel that, for the next set of movements, we actually don't want those to get involved, which means we'll have to move much, much smaller and kind of deeper into the neck. So let's do this. You can let the hand go. Pretend you've got an orange that you're trying to hold in between underneath your chin and kind of the front of the throat. And two things you don't want to do. You don't want to squash the orange. You don't want juice to come out, nor do you want to let the orange roll away. So you've got to just hold it in there. So let's do that. Find your orange. Give it a light squeeze, but not a hard squeeze. And just hold that. And if you need to check, you can put your hand up there in the front to make sure the sternocleidomastoid is not doing the work. And then back off the pressure. Let's do that a few times. So just light squeeze into the orange. You can also lightly press the back of the head down. And back off. We'll do one more of those. So a light squeeze of your orange and just light pressure the head into the floor. You might feel a natural, like a little arch going on in the back. That's fine. And then relax. Let's bend the elbows now, a robot arm position. And I'll add on to this. So I'll say a couple things at once. Bring your attention to the shoulder blades. The inner shoulder blades will start to press up into your back. Yeah? Keep doing that. Press the arms into the floor. Squeeze your little orange and press the back of the head into the floor. And just hold. And stay in the position, but relax the effort. Let's go again. So the arms press down, the inner shoulder blades press up. Squeeze your orange and press the back of the head. And relax. And let's go one more time. Press, hold, lift. Now, if it's not too much effort on your part and you want more, you can go press a little more into the elbows so the shoulders pull up just a teensy bit off the floor. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, good, good. And then come down, rest, relax the arms. Yeah. All right, friends, two more things down here. So if you have your strap, you'll pick up your strap, it's folded in half, and set it under your head so it's kind of in line with the ears. If you don't have a strap, you'll interlace your hands and just hold the head with the elbows locked. If you've got the strap, you'll hold the strap maybe about 6 inches away from your head on each side. And then for everybody, try to keep the neck passive. Use the arms to lift the head. Faster, lift it. And think about ever so slightly drawing back with your hands or with the strap, a little bit. And then come back down. Let's go one more time, just that. So use the arms or your strap to lift the head. We're going to stay here. Bring the elbows in a little bit. And then just pick one side, let it pull a little extra so that turns your head one direction. And then a little on the other side, turning your head the second direction. Take that just a couple of times on your own, and you can experiment with how far you turn. Those of you on the strap, you can experiment with how far away the hands are from your face, from your head. It's meant to feel good. If it doesn't, just come down, take a little break. Good, good, good. All right, friends, let's come on down. Release the strap, release your arms, and then let's just take a little head turn side to side. And even though we're laying down on the floor, just check out your range of motion. Yeah. All right. The next thing, super weird. It's all super weird, but extra super weird. Bring your attention to the right shoulder blade. And using the muscles around the shoulder blade, particularly at the bottom part of the shoulder blade, not so much up by the neck, but down. If you pull the shoulder blade down towards your right hip, hold shoulder blade depression, and then pull it up towards your head. That's called shoulder blade elevation. So do that alternating, down and up. And again, see if you can let it be the shoulder blade initiating, and the arm will come along. You might feel some movement in the rib cage and the spine, and that's fine, but let it be the shoulder blade that's driving. Everything else is just a passenger. All right, and then pause in the middle. And now pull the shoulder blade, still on the right side, in towards the spine. That's called retraction. And then pull it out away from the spine, protraction. Do in and out a couple of times. And now see if you can touch all four of those points, making either a circle or a square. And this shape doesn't have to be particularly round. See if you can just alternate between upside, downside, and then try the other way. And if you're not having much luck, great. That means your neural pathways are kind of, they're figuring out new ways to do things. All right, and then pause. Last thing on the right side. Just pick in your mind's eye like a simple shape, a tree or a star, something like that. And see if you can draw that with your shoulder blade on the back. Smiley face. Yes, friends. All right, and if you start to complete your shape here, just take another little check-in. Take a breath. And now can you feel the right shoulder blade compared to the left. Notice if there's any difference there. So better do the left one. I'm going to do all those same movements. So let's go up and down, elevation, depression, up and down. Working more from the bottom of the shoulder blade than the top. You might find also that one side naturally moves or is more receptive than the other side. And then let's pause. Can you pull the shoulder blade in towards the spine and let it go out away from the spine, doing that in and out. Yep. And then we'll get all 4 points. So just pick a direction, up, side, down, side. This side for me is not working very well. The other side was like, oh, this is great. I can make a circle. And this side is, it's more like a corkscrew. Very lumpy. Yeah. Just interesting. And yoga is a practice in self-study, also called svadhyaya in Sanskrit. Kind of a fun word. Let's go the other direction with the circle. Yeah, so we're doing svadhyaya with our shoulder blades. I told you, I warned you this would be a weird one today, so here we are. And now let's pick a different shape, different picture. And then trace that now with the left shoulder blade. You can't think of something, just do the same one again. Yeah, yogis. All right, let's pause. Just take a breath. Oh my goodness. Notice what you notice. And then this will be quick. Just move both shoulder blades around any which way. Yeah. And then remember when we did that sort of sit-up position as a pre-check? Let's do that one again. So pause here. And go ahead, lift the head, the neck, the shoulders, the arms. Anybody else feel a little easier to get up? Maybe the head feels lighter on one side, but not on the other. And then down we come, rest. Yeah. All right, so we're about to come off your back. Sometimes that transition can be a little abrupt. If you want to wiggle around some here, you can. When you are ready to turn over, friends will meet in all fours position. So go ahead and just get there. We won't be here for too long, but do make yourself comfortable if you need to. Arrange props any way you like. Yeah. So now here we are on our all fours. We just did this laying down, but now that we're not laying upon the shoulder blades, they'll move a little more. Let's just move them any and all directions. Oh, like freedom. Just got out of jail here. Good. So let the movement gradually settle down. It's returning to all fours. And find what feels like neutral to you in the torso. And we'll just do a little kind of cat-cow in the head and the neck. So let the head drop down and then go up. And when you go up, be sure not to crunch or pinch the back of the neck, even if you don't go too far. And as you're transitioning between the two, there will be a spot where it feels like the head is in line with the rest of the spine. Next time you get to that spot, pause. Yeah. Now let's gently move your eyeballs to the right, like you're looking at something on the right side. And then let the head come with. So tilting the head and keep going until the spine comes into a C curve. We'll just pause for a moment. And then come back to middle with the head, the spine, and the eyes. Let the eyeballs go to the left gently. And then keep going. The head goes to the left, the spinal curve. And then back to center. Now this will be similar, but not quite the same. Turn the eyeballs to the right. And instead of tilting the head, let's rotate the head. So turn your face to the right. And then the next part will be the same. Do more of the side bend. It's just a little different when we do it with the rotation. And then come back to center. Let the eyeballs turn to the left. Turn your face to the left. And then keep going. Yeah. Great. And then come back to center here. Take a moment for anything, which could be nothing, maybe a child's pose, maybe another shoulder blade movement, whatever you want to do is fine. We're about to come off of, we're about to stand. All right, yogis. So when you're ready to come up, take your time to get there. I'm gonna tilt the camera differently so that you'll be able to see me more. That means I go this direction. And you won't be able to see my feet, but you won't need to. So yeah, take your time and come up to stand. And then once you're standing, guess what? We're gonna move the shoulder blades again. So take a fairly wide position, not super wide, but just comfortably wide with the legs. Bend the knees a little bit and move your shoulder blades around any which way. The arms will move, the spine will move, the head will move, but let it be the shoulder blades that start the movement. Great, I'm feeling a lot more open already. And then let's pause and just maintain a comfortable stance with the feet. That could be wide or narrow, just easy stance. Take the arms right out in front of you, and then one shoulder will do a lift up and down, and then the other one, but they'll alternate. This always reminds you of the wheels on the train. Got those things on. All right, let's go the other direction. A lot of crunches. Soften the elbows a little bit and let the spine move a little more and see if it crunches less. And try doing like not so big of a movement. Instead of being here, be like here and see if it's less crunchy. All right, friends, and then release. Just give the arms a little shake out. And now from here, let's take, it's a thoracic spine movement. Take the hands in front of you with palms touching and give a little pressure into the hands and let the shoulder blades widen in the background. You might bend the knees a little bit. And then to come the other direction, bend the elbows, pull the hands in, let the hands separate, the chest comes forward, and then extend through the wrists. Make a little stretch here in the forearms. Then we're gonna go back and forth between those two. So coming in, round, and then bend the elbows, stretch out the arms, stretch the chest forward. Yeah, and just do that a few times. And then release the arms. Yeah, hands could dangle or hands to the hips, your choice. Can you slide the rib cage to your right? And then slide it over to the left. And it's fine if the knees bend a little bit here. And just alternate that a few times. Don't force it, but just go whatever's a comfortable distance to go. Good. And now let's pause one direction. Let's just say left. Go to the left. Chest forward. Go to the right. And then back. So putting those four directions together. Arms can do anything you like. Yeah. And then just easy change the direction. Try not to think about it too much. Awesome. And then let's pause. And we'll do a similar movement with the head. So the whole time we're doing the head movement, we want to keep the eyes fairly level, so no tilting like this or like this. Can you bring the whole head a little forward, like we do when we're, yeah, and then bring the whole head a little back like you're getting a double chin. Like a rooster. Like a rooster, yes, and then back and forth. Right, friends, pause when you're in a comfortable spot in the middle. Here's the weird one. Can you slide the right ear to the right without tilting the head? Oh, and then slide the left ear to the left without tilting the head. And I don't know if I'm tilting, I can't tell. And then side to side a couple of times. Interesting. I have a little bit of range on one side and like no range on the other side. I hardly go this way at all. All right, guess what we're gonna do? Let's go to the left, forward, to the right, and back. Just a few of these. And then go the other way. Okay. Yeah, and then just shake it out. Let's take just a brief head turn side to side, see if anything's opened up. Just go to the right. Whoa. And then go to the left. Interesting. Anybody else getting results?
Yes.
Okay, so see, I'm not a crazy person. It's doing something. Let's pick up your block or your book or just some sort of prop. Now, it's possible we might drop it. So if you happen to have one of those like really heavy wooden blocks, you might grab something else. We're gonna hold it in your right hand and try not to grip it with your hands. Let it just be balanced on the hands. I'm gonna take us through like a whole big pattern, but we'll start with little puzzle pieces. You can stick with any of the pieces if the full movement doesn't work for you. So here we are on the right hand, out to the side, and then just reach the arm out and turn the head away from the block. Make it a little stretch anywhere down the whole line. And then come back and bend the elbow. And now take the block underneath you, still balanced on the hand, and reach it back like this and turn your head to look down at the floor. We're going to alternate between those two. So we reverse the direction nice and slow. Arm reaches out, head looks away. And then we bend the elbow, bring it around, and the torso will be moving. And then reach the arm out and look down. Do that a few times on this side. Might feel the torso is doing a little similar of those circular movements that we were just doing. A little bit similar to that. All right, and then let's pause. And we'll move the block into the other hand. And same thing, we'll do each one separately and then back and forth. So stretch the arm out and turn the look away. Oh, that feels good. And then bring the arm back in, bend the elbow. Let it pull underneath and reach back. And then this time you'll turn the look down. And then you'll undo and just alternate. Go whatever pace you need. I recommend slower, better for these. I think Mary's done this before with me. I was talking about in my belly dancing class, we did something similar with a candle in our hand. Yeah, so the block.
I don't think we did it with the neck, though. I like it with the neck.
Yeah, the neck is a little add-on. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So far, so good. So this is kind of the lower half of the movement. Let's come back to the right side and we'll do the upper half. And I can't tell if you can see me. If I bring my arm up, can you guys see? Here, I'll come down. I'm just gonna come on my knees.
No,
but
we can see when you're standing.
Right. Yeah. All right, so take the block out to the side and then you'll bring it up overhead. And once it gets there, turn the fingers towards the midline. Let's go both directions first. Just turn to look up at the block and then turn your face to look down at the floor. And then ultimately when we do this, you can decide up or down. And then bring the head back to the center, bring the block out to the side. To do that a few times, it comes up, rotate the fingers in, turn your head either up or down, and then out to the side. One more time like this, and then we'll make it slightly different. All right, so go again into the up position. And then to get down, lean a little to the side. Take the block forward. What? Yeah. And then you'll kind of bend the elbow. It comes all the way back down to here. We better do that again. Let's come up. Turn the fingers in. Lean to the side. Take the block forward. And let the arm come around. And back to stand. One more time. Up. Turn the fingers in, bend sideways, and then the block comes forward, around, and you did it. All right, side two, we'll start with the little pieces and then build. So arm out to the side, and then up, fingers turn in, pause here, let's go, first look up, and then look down, decide what you like better, you could do alternating. And then come back to center, arm out to the side. Do that again. So out to the side, up, turn your head up or down. And back to start. Last one, just like this. And back to start. Now here we go with the trickier one. Let's come up from the top, lean over. Let the arm come forward, bend the elbow a little bit. You kind of swirl it around underneath. Ta-da! Yeah. And let's go again, out to the side, up. Fingers turn in, lean. And then the arm comes around underneath. Ta-da! Yeah, one more time like that. We kind of, yeah, kind of. Nice job, nice job. All right, let's go back to the right side again. And I need to do it real quick, just so I have it in my body. Yeah, so it's basically the same thing, just reversing the order of it. You didn't see that. All right, so here we go. Block is in the right hand. Let it come underneath and kind of lean forward and then to the side. Good thing it's a soft block, and then all the way up around, out to the side, and back in again. Yeah? So keep doing this. I'm just gonna keep going. If you're having some troubles, just that's fine. And if any of this is feeling painful in the shoulder or just like not a good idea in the shoulder, stick with any one little piece that felt good in the shoulder. Yeah? Yeah, you might have to play with this. There could be some strategy involved. Maybe glue. Rubbing with my fingers. Yeah, maybe a rubber band around it. All right, that we're done with side one, for better or for worse. Will be our last side. So we start with it, the elbow bends, it comes in. Lean away from the arm, take it out in front, up and over, around to the side. Yeah. So the punchline of this, it's not so much about the block, it's about moving the shoulder, moving the spine, moving the head, all of the movements that are happening as we're moving the block around, yeah? Let's take last one. Oh, all right, yogis. Yeah, let's put the block down for a second. And just take your lazy stance and let's do our slither asana again. Oh, see if it's any more slithery. Cool, cool. And then let's pause. Let's do a brief head rotation. Eyes open or close. Oh my goodness. Okay, friends. And then come back to middle. Yeah. So the next bit here, if you're using a book, try it. And if you don't like the book, just use your hand. Otherwise, you'll use a block. I'm going to come closer to the screen. So you'll put the block or your prop next to the head, and it's closer to the temple, not so much on the cheek. Yes, it's a little above. And then lightly press block and head into each other. We want to create some resistance and press the head into the block as the block presses to turn your head to the left. And then press the head more into the block, but the block creates resistance to turn to the right. Yeah, so you do that a few times. And you might remember when we were laying on the back doing that little orange exercise, and I told you not to engage sternocleidomastoid. This is actually creating tone first for that muscle, sternocleidomastoid. At the end of class, I can describe that muscle a little more if you want. So you're not just moving the head, you're creating resistance, and it's the resistance that creates the tone. Yeah.
Could you describe what's pushing what in each direction again?
Yeah, so let's say you're pressing away from the block. The head is actually pressing towards the block, and it's kind of, it's like you're doing tug of war, but not tug of war, it's push a war. And here the block is winning. And then when you go the other direction, it's the head that's winning. And you might feel the tone kind of right in here. I'm touching on my neck where you might feel that. Yeah. Let's go the other side. Release. I don't want you to push too hard with any of these. It's just enough to create resistance. So let's press towards the block, and the block is pressing to the head. And then with our little push of war, it's the block that's winning, but the head is still trying, yeah? And then back and forth we go. And here, I'm just touching on, kind of stroking on my neck where you will likely feel this. Yeah. Good, good. All right. And then let's pause, remove the block. Let's take a second. We're going to keep holding it. Now, this one likely won't work with the book. You know, it could work if you have the spine of the book up, but if you're using a block, oh, sorry, I'll come down. If you're using a block, hold the block like this. If you're using the book, have the spine of the book here. And if the book doesn't work, you can just use your hands. So remember when we were doing that little orange exercise? So now we're going to be engaging those muscles. And if you think about the spine, the neck spine, the cervical spine, they're just in the very front of the spine. So really deep in there. So let's connect this. You can let the elbows go out to the side. Very gently press your chin down on your prop. And then let everything turn a bit to one side and then a bit to the other side. And this one's not about the range of motion. It's about creating tone through the neck flexors. And if you ask me the names of them, let's see, longus capiti and longus colli. Oh, I'm good. They are weak for most of us, especially with our modern technology, smartphones and stuff. The deep neck flexors get really weak. All right, and let's release that. Take the block away. And oh my goodness, we're almost done. Let's do one more thing. So you're gonna take your hands just kind of lightly on the chest, right below the collarbones, and you'll press in and slightly down to pull the skin. Stick your chin and your lower lip forward, and I can't talk and do this. And then you'll turn the head up as you pull the skin down. And then back off to come to center. And do that a few times. So the chin sticks out as you lift and pull the skin down. And back off one more time. Yeah. And then we're gonna do kind of diagonal. So let's let the chin stick out and go up and out on the right and just pull down through the middle. And then center and other side to the left. Do that a few times. All right, and then release. Shake out the hands. This will be our last range of motion check-in. So let's tilt the chin down towards the chest. Whoa, I've gone a lot further. And it didn't feel particularly bound up before, but here I am. And then tilt up, keep the back of the neck long. And center. And then we'll rotate, turn to the right, eyes open or closed, but relaxed eyes. Wow, I can see like, I'm like an owl. And then come back to the other side and go almost all the way. And back to center. And then tilt right ear to right shoulder. Oh, this one feels rather nice. Back to center. Left ear to left shoulder. Back to center. Yogis, amazing, amazing. All right, let's come to do Shavasana. I always run out of time when I do this kind of practice. I have like 10 more things, but we'll do it another time.
Sounds like a whole other class.
That's a whole, we could do a whole workshop on this. So let's come down to rest. I'm gonna turn out some of those lights. And you might be perfectly happy just being still. You might need to take a little wiggle anywhere in the shoulder blades, in the jaw. And just bring your awareness into your face. And at the very, very beginning of class, we used our hands to make little circles. Can you relax that little space right behind the ears, little bony space? At the same time, relax your jaw. And can you release the jaw muscle that's right under the cheekbones? And at the same time, imagine more space through the inner ear canal. Can you relax all of the musculature around the eyes, behind the eyes? And from the inner eyes to the out, relax in the direction of the temples. And let the temples soften. Imagine the eyes themselves just dropping both down into the head, but down almost under the cheekbones. Whole face completely relaxed. Around the neck, the front of the throat, the sides, and the back. Top part of the shoulders. All around the shoulder blades. And the arms. might feel worthwhile to stay here a little longer. That's you, feel free. Those of you who are ready to move, let's start again with that head turn, side to side. Maybe add on with a reach through the arms, the legs, the fingers, the toes. Yeah. Eventually, let the knees bend. Roll to one side. Before you come up to sit, see if you can keep the neck relaxed. Press into the floor and let the head come up less. The head almost drags behind as you make your way up to sit. No rush at all. Scooch up a little bit. Now let's take hands to heart center. Thank your own body for everything that it's able to do. And thank yourself for being here. Namaste.